Welcome back. Well, Vibhuti and I are joined by Rizwan Beg. Rizwan is a fashion designer and an architect. He's also the most extraordinary person I know, most talented person I know. And he'd say, okay, so will you please stop, but I won't.
Please stop.
And Laik Akbar. Laik is an entrepreneur. She's done lots of exciting things in her life, and she's no dumb blonde. Welcome both of you to 24/7.
Thank you.
So here we are, first day of the year. What's happening in 2007, Rizwan? What's the silhouette?
Well, I would like to say, animal skins, but, today being Bakra Eid.
Oh dear.
But I hope not.
I'm really upset with this, okay? That's shocking.
No, but actually, I think the entire, I closed 2006 by doing a show for the Carnival de Couture, which was very well received.
Which was phenomenal.
Well, thank you. But the thing was, in that we introduced a whole new line. And unfortunately, in Pakistan, you can't really do very much in terms of being very, very, experimental. People are very stuck to the, to the straight and narrow. So the only thing that really goes up and down is really hemlines in Pakistan.
Well, Laik's not looking straight and narrow. Like, whose outfit are you wearing today?
You really want to know?
Yes.
Rizwan's.
Oh, me too. That's exciting.
Well, that's a nice
I love his clothes.
Well, I'm not.
You're not.
Like to be.
You'd like to be.
I'll have to come to Pakistan again if it means that to get an outfit by
There you
Please
are.
do. It would be such a pleasure.
But I need to interrupt on one thing. You did say that only hemlines change?
Yes.
I know a couple of years ago when he did go risque.
How risky?
Very risque. I mean, he took Pakistan on by storm. I don't know if I should mention this on air, but...
Yeah, thank you very much.
But, yeah, I mean, you did a beautiful pattern which got to talk about right up to Bergdorf in New York.
Well, fabulous. Thank
Well,
you
there
very
you
much.
are. Well done.
See?
So, what's the color for 2007?
I'm not one to follow international color trends because first of all, I think the Pakistani and the Asian silhouette, the Asian coloring is completely different. What works in the West, a lot of people say that you need to follow international trends and look at what's happening in the West, and I personally am not in favor of that at all. To me, the color of the subcontinent has always been white, and in the West it's always been black, because to me, if you look at the color of the subcontinent, it's the white sari, it's the shalwar, it's the latte ki shalwar kameez, it's the dhoti, it's the pagdi. It's always been white for me, whether it's been marriages or whether it's been funerals, with the Parsis wearing white lace for their shadis. So to me, the color of the subcontinent has always been white.
Okay, it's also maybe to do with the climate. It's so hot here.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's, it's a natural progression.
Yeah.
And generally, my entire outlook on color trends for the Asian silhouette is always been to use a very neutral base and then to embellish it with color, which is to me is very, very typical of the subcontinent.
Right.
The color that you see against a backdrop of either ivory or off-white or black, and that's become a signature look of mine. So to me, I'm not one for great changes in color schemes. I worked a lot on the silhouette this year because we did a whole layered thing and we reintroduced the coat, and internationally as well, hemlines have come falling down. It's going to be the kaftan for next year, and it's going to be the coat, so it's all the whole Morocco and the military kind of coat kind of look. So that was generally the kind of impression that I wanted to convey through my collection.
East meets East.
That's a nice way to put it.
So what do you think of fashion in Pakistan? You've been here for a while and you've been to weddings?
Yes, I'm enchanted. I'm enchanted because that's one thing which is so different from India. The very slim pencil look of beautiful Pakistani girls wearing short kurtis and gararas, which we don't see in India at all. And it was really over the top at the wedding I went to, in a very nice way, because there were a lot of jewelry and girls carrying things off so well that it was a pleasure to see. And then I went to see Rizwan's collection, and I was just moved by that so much, because I think what he's designing is, I really thought, I was surprised to see both of you in Rizwan outfits, because I thought he only did museum pieces.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is a museum
Yes,
piece.
I do so think.
I thought I was a museum piece.
Not yet, Tabby, not yet.
You're not old enough.
Getting there. Right. No, he's also done a lot of craft revival and stuff.
Yes,
But,
exactly.
What about sort of the whole emphasis on the Pakistani woman, if you like? He's designing for the Pakistani woman, and you're opening a spa, I understand.
That's
and
right.
it's a state-of-the-art spa with some exclusive third floor, which is by invitation only,
Yes.
I believe. I hope I get an invitation to that lake.
Absolutely. First of all, it's not only for women, because I feel the 2007 is not about, its fitness is there forever.
Yeah.
But I think now the Pakistani woman and the man is more aware of themselves. And I think that you need to spend, you need to work on your inner being. You have Rizwan fixing the outside, so I've just set up for what's in the inside. It's a holistic approach where we have meditation, we have massages, where no matter how much money you make, the power hungry or whatever, you need to get away from it all to build your own sanctity within a place. And that's basically what I'm taking you from. It's like a lifestyle. So you could be 20, 30, 40, 50, right up to your grave. Literally.
Are you saying 50 is the grave?
No. I think 50 is when a woman begins, because I'll be very honest. The women who are 50 in Pakistan, I mean, when they walk in a room and the charisma that they carry, the grace and the charm, some of the 25-year-olds don't have.
Right.
So I think a woman is just beginning at 40 plus.
Right.
So I'm basically, that is where I'm going at, and I want to make it exclusive because you have to feel comfortable. It's not about money. It's about something I've done from my heart. I've worked 2.5 years on this, and it's like evolving yourself totally. Right.
So you have to feel like you're coming home when you go to the spa.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop because you have a health cafe where you can relax. You have a gym, so it's not just from the outside. You're working right in, you're fixing yourself in a whole new way. And the way I've set it up is, like I said, you don't have to be a certain age.
Right.
Who have you been inspired by? Because this Body Beautiful movement and spa movement is very big in the States.
That's right. Actually, well, for 20 years I've been in aviation, which I still love, and I've done cargo. But about 2.5 years ago, I was sitting with my father, who said, you know what, I think you should do a spa. And honestly, it started like that. And within 6 months, I think he went to a few hundred. And he came back inspiring me. And I thought, you know what, this way I could kind of give back. There are a lot of women here, even men, who don't have the confidence. I mean, there are beautiful people here, but they just don't understand what they're all about. And I thought, you can't always work for money. You've got to do something which you feel that you can make a difference in someone's life. It's like a total makeover.
So a not-for-profit spa.
Well, I have to work for a living, But no, it's something I'm going to be very passionately involved in. Somebody's going to walk in, and I'm going to, hopefully, with different people that I've got from all over the world. I've got somebody who worked in a spa in Canada. So somebody's doing meditation. So the different aspects, and we are going to sort of make them feel like, you walk in and you walk out, not with such a big price tag, as a totally different person. And basically, I'm not adding anything to them. Okay?
Rejuvenated.
I am just making them understand what you have is so deep and so special. I'm just helping you take it out from the inside and bring it out.
Fabulous. It sounds great. Are you tempted
wonderful.
to come back now?
Sign me on.
It's not just an outfit, but there's a spa as well.
Yes, indeed. I'll have to be invited.
Absolutely.
I know she's got that
For the
exclusive third floor.
Well, that is, yes.
So what's so special about the third floor?
Well, it's just by
Undone.
invitation.
But what are you invited to?
Well, that's when you get invited, you'll know.
Oh no.
How do you pick your invitees?
Actually, Tammy is the one who's going to veto.
Oh, I have a veto.
We had spoken about this. I spoken to her 6 months ago, and I think she's forgotten. And I said, Tammy, I don't know how to, because it's just 50 people. So I wouldn't know how to say no and yes. And Tammy said, don't worry, darling, I'll just do it. And that's when I got
powerful person.
Exactly, that's when I got the strength, actually, because it's 5.5 floors. And I said, okay, for the 4 floors, we'll keep it for everyone. And there'll be the 5th floor where, you can just come and be yourself with people who you're comfortable with, and just be on another planet. And why do you have to always travel out or go to Dubai or go to Bangkok or go to, New York I would always love to go to. I am just bringing it all in that you can go here 10 minutes away and you've got it under one roof.
New York, you don't want to go if you want to have a spa experience, because
Yes.
New York makes you a person who needs a spa.
That's true. That's true. Manhattan especially.
It's East Coast
Yes.
stress, which we go to California to relieve.
exactly.
Or you can go to the Peninsula Hotel.
Yes.
They have a great spa.
Yes.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
It's fabulous. So Rizwan, what is the advice you're giving women for 2007?
Oh dear.
I think at the end of the day, I think women have really come a long way. I think 2006 has been very, very liberating, truly liberating. And I think 2007 is a lot of it is what like I said, it's about the inner self. As a lot of people have actually throughout to 2006, I saw a lot of people dealing with the outer self, which was liposuction and Botox, and a lot of women were actually very, very concerned about looking good. And it was not just at a superficial level. I think the whole holistic thing about being secure in who you are, and it was a lot about female empowerment in 2006. I felt, because I did a pilot project with a lot of women in the rural sector, and their involvement with urban centers, their self-awareness, their self-growth, that I learned a lot from that as well, but especially by going to the rural areas. So I think 2007 is going to be a period of introspection. I hope, at least
and
that's
you
what
can
I hope.
introspect in her spa.
Well, that's one venue.
You're going there and sort of doing the
full lotus,
meditation thing.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a year for a lot of people to kind of a year of self-awareness almost, where you actually sit and seriously contemplate issues about your life. And there's a whole generation that's moved into a different decade now, if you look at it. 2007 is a lot about people. It's not about the 30-something anymore. It's about the 40-something and the 50-something. And all the baby boomers of the 80s have now become, parents and grandparents.
That's
so
right.
it's a completely new kind of ethos. So I think it's going to be one of a lot of, introspection and reflection and understanding the self and projecting yourself. Is going to be the year of the individual rather than fashion victims.
Oh God, thank God the victims we're done with. You were telling me earlier about the interesting people you've met in the past few years in your travels, especially when the story you told me about Doha. And so do you see this sort of change in women in developing countries and in traditional societies?
Very much so, because in Doha, the celebrity to watch and admire is the Sheikha herself, who is really a role model for Islamic women anywhere, because she not only dresses beautifully but traditionally, and she has invested all the petrodollars from their state, or a large chunk of them, in education. She's created Education City with 5 American campuses, and she started, the first campus was for women. So it's all about empowerment of women. And the College of Art and Design with which she started, which is an American university that she chose from the States, of Virginia Commonwealth University, is catering not just to local women but to women, Muslim women from all over the world, from Bosnia, from Indonesia, from Palestine, Lebanon. And you see the difference in the way they dress, because the local girls are all in beautiful designer hijabs and the other girls are in jeans. So it's a very nice melting pot for these women to meet, and then she brings in there's an international design conference, so they're exposed to the world.
It sounds very dynamic.
It is extremely dynamic, and I'm a great fan of the Sheikha. That's how I ended up going there, but they've invited me to teach there, so I'll know more when I talk to these young women.
It's amazing. It looks like we're heading more and more towards not just empowerment, but where different cultures are understanding each other and they're able to share, and the Moroccan style has come to Pakistan.
But I think that's all part of the whole globalization process. I mean, we're borrowing so heavily from different cultures, and when you look at the role of the media, where the media, you're actually sitting in your home and a lot of images from different cultures are being beamed into your house.
Right.
You're actually sitting there and you can see what's happening in Japan and in Africa and in the Caribbean, and so this whole new kind of globalization, I think it's it's actually registering now, and it's in some ways it's sad, because it always saddens me when you see a lot of cultures losing out to the globalization process.
Yes, local cultures.
Yeah, because I went to Thailand and all I saw was a sea of concrete and McDonald's.
Yes.
And the little pagodas had all vanished.
Yes.
And it really saddened me, So,
but
I think that's the price you end up paying for progress.
And I think that's where Doha is a very good role model in Qatar, because they have the Americans there are also wonderful. The Americans who have come to educate and be in Education City are very modest. They are not aggressive. They are not the ugly American. They are sensitive to the Islamic or local culture, whatever they want. So there is a very good mix there, and I think that should be worked out. As someone who lives in America and an American really in many ways, I feel very sad that America has no reputation left, that our president has ruined our image abroad, and it doesn't need to be that way. In Doha you see that it isn't, because the Americans there behave with great grace.
Well, speaking of empowerment, it looks like you're taking your country back after the recent elections. But unfortunately, we've come to the end of this program. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Rizwan and Lake for being here today. And I hope that 2007 is a year not only for empowerment of women, but empowerment for all of us in Pakistan. And we'll be back next week with more from 24/7. Until then, goodbye from all of us. And if you have an opinion or would like to be on the show, write into us 24/7 at businessplus.tv. Until next time, bye from all of us.